When I caught up with Max Duggan earlier this week, he said that he hadn't thought much about the fact that his career is quickly coming to a close here at TCU. He said that he was much more focused on the task at hand, winning today's game so he and his teammates could spend one last week together. Well, it looks like he's going to get his wish. The Kansas City Chiefs may very well be on the brink of a dynasty in their third Super Bowl in 4 years, as quarterback Patrick Mahomes and head coach Andy Reid has them once again on the brink of the promised land. Meanwhile, the Eagles are in their second Super Bowl in 6 years, but this squad is a lot different than that team quarterbacked by Nick Foles in 2017, as Jalen Hurts and company has the Eagles on the brink of their second Lombardi.
Thank you very much, Mitch. The Bears lead the all-time series 22-14. UNC has had NAU's number recently, winning 6 of the last 9 games and sweeping last year's season series. NAU's last win almost exactly 2 years ago, January 29th, 2021. Mitch, back to you.
This fall is quickly turning to winter. The NAU men's basketball team is about ready to tip off their 2022-23 campaign. And even though they finished last in the Big Sky last year, there's a lot of reason for optimism.
Let's go courtside with our Michael Manny, who's standing by with head coach Shane Burkhardt. Michael?
Coach, arguably your best first half of the season. You held the Big Sky's leading scorer, Dalton Connect, to just 6 points. How do you continue this momentum going into the second half?
Well, you're right on, Michael. It's our best first half of the year, and we got to just keep doing what we're doing. Playing NAU basketball, we're doing really well in transition. We're mixing up our man and our zone, and we're doing really good. And the nice thing is we're making some shots right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay,
Mitch,
thank
back
you,
to you. Regan, your time at NAU quickly coming to a close. A lot to play for still, of course, but how special is this win to you on the day you're being celebrated?
Yeah, super special win. Good to win by a lot. I'm just really happy with our crowd today. We had a lot of people here, so it just made it that much more special.
Regan, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you. Coach, you secured no worse than a 3 seed with the win today. Chance for more at Weber State on Monday. What's your mindset heading into the regular season finale?
You know, just really proud of the team and how we performed today. And, you know, we want to get momentum going into Boise. And so we're excited that we got this win today. And we're going to miss playing in the Dome, playing in front of these awesome fans. Like, it was an incredible atmosphere today. So, you know, we just have to prep for Weber and then get ready for Boise.
All week, TCU head coach Sonny Dykes and his players fielded questions about how they were going to be able to match up with the physical nature of Michigan's defense. Turns out they were the more physical team today, as they came away with a 51-45 victory in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. And they'll go on to do something that seemed rather improbable at the start of this 2022 season: play for a national championship.
It was a hard-fought game. I thought both teams really played hard. Really proud of these guys. We talked about all week leading up to the game how important it was going to be to play physical, and I thought we were definitely the most physical team on the field tonight.
The Horned Frogs came out on fire on both sides of the ball, stopping Michigan on 4th down near the goal line on a Philly special-like reverse. On the Wolverines' next drive, quarterback J.J. McCarthy threw a pick-6 to Bud Clark that was returned 41 yards for the score. By halftime, TCU held a 21-6 lead. Linebacker D. Winters said hearing about if TCU could match up physically with Michigan helped fuel them.
I definitely would say, you know, we kind of just use it as a little bit of motivation. You know, we feel like the Big 12 is a very physical conference, and we just wanted to come out and showcase what the Big 12 is all about.
The third quarter became a shootout with 44 combined points and one of the most back-and-forth sequences in recent memory. But TCU continued to respond each time in the highest-scoring Fiesta Bowl in history. As the clock ticked down, Dykes said he was thinking of his dad, Texas coaching legend Spike Dykes, and his mentor, the late Mike Leach.
There was a time there, you know, right when we took a knee where, you know, I thought about my dad, thought about Coach Leach. You know, it's pretty special when you can win one of these games, and you certainly wish you could share it with them, but you know, you feel their presence, you really do, and it was, you know, it was like you said, man, it was an old-fashioned shootout and something he would have got a kick out of for sure.
Quarterback Max Duggan knows their ultimate goal is now straight ahead.
This is a big win, and we're going to celebrate it tonight as a team and as a fan base, but we know that we got a bigger one coming up, and that's the one that we really want.
The 2022 NASCAR Cup Series season tied a record, with 19 different drivers earning a win. But the season ended like it began, with Team Penske's Joey Logano taking the checkered flag. But with this win, he earned his second championship.
When you get this far, I said it all week, we weren't satisfied with being in the championship 4. There's nothing to celebrate for us. We've been here before. We know what it feels like to lose. And it's the worst feeling in the world, if I'm being honest, and winning is the best feeling in the world.
Logano is now just the second active driver to have 2 championships. And he got to celebrate this one with his 4-year-old son, Hudson.
It's the first time on the racetrack we got to do donuts together. And that's just cool to see him running up there and grabbing the checkered flag. I mean, that's it's hard to explain.
Though he is only 32, Logano is one of the series' longest tenured veterans. Team owner Roger Penske has seen him mature quite a bit since his 2009 rookie season.
Well, I think he came with us, 10 years ago. It's hard to believe that, and there was a lot of discussion, was that the right move. I have to thank Brad, who talked to me about Joey and really made the opportunity for to meet with him.
All in all, it was a special end to a special season.
If you have kids, you understand the love that you have for them. It's truly unconditional love, and to see them smile and celebrate a moment together it's truly the most awesome feeling.
From Avondale, Arizona, Michael Manny, NAZ Today. For the first time since 1992, the Flagstaff High School girls basketball team is state champions after defeating Pueblo in the 4A title game 68-65. The city's first basketball title in 31 years and just the 5th in the last 100+ years. Longtime Eagles coach Tyrone Johnson is not only a champion for the first time, he's part of a celebration over 3 decades in the making for the Flagstaff basketball community.
I think it was big that the Flagstaff community came out, so it wasn't necessarily about Flag High, Cocoa, MPA, bases. It was just about Flagstaff.
At halftime of the title game, the 1973 Coconino boys team was honored for the 50th anniversary of their championship. The win not only has brought the community together, it transcends rivalry.
I know afterwards, some of the 73 team at Cocoa, they were some of the biggest cheers, and they wanted me to bring the trophy up. I took the trophy up, and taking pictures with them. It just really showed that this was something for the whole Flagstaff community.
Michael Manny, NAZ Today. Good evening and welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Michael Manny. Last season, the Flagstaff Eagles girls basketball team reached the 4A state championship game for the first time in 30 years, but came up just short to South Point Catholic. Almost 9 months later, the Eagles are well underway on their quest to return to the title game, sitting at 2-1 early on in the 2022-23 season. I caught up with head coach Tyrone Johnson and senior Sage Begay just before the start of the season. The Eagles are back in action at home this Friday to take on the Mesquite Wildcats at 5:30 p.m. Sticking with high school hoops, the Eagles boys team has opened their season 1-2, with their first win coming last night in double overtime versus Saguaro in a thriller. Junior Jake Sentner has started off the season hot, scoring 13 and 20 points in his first 2 games. They'll be in action next against Mesquite on Friday. The Coconino Panthers boys and girls team swept the Greenway Demons this past Monday. Senior Ivory Washington had 23 points, as the boys team opened their season with a 63-40 win. The girls team also took care of business with a 58-19 win on the road. The boys will next face Thunderbird December 1st, while the girls team plays Apollo December 5th. Well, that's all we have for sports tonight, but stay tuned for your weather recap with Hannah Ware after the break. After all the talk, pregame festivities, and press conferences during the week, it's finally time to play football here at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, as the Michigan Wolverines are about set to do battle with the TCU Horned Frogs in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl later this afternoon for the right to play for a national championship. There's been a long championship drought for both of these programs. Michigan's goes back to 1997, TCU's even longer, 1938. But after talking to both coaches yesterday, it's very clear that both of these teams are ready to finally play some football. And welcome back to State Farm Stadium in Glendale, the home of Super Bowl 57, or what some are calling the Andy Reid Bowl. Before his time in Kansas City, Andy Reid was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, where he took them to multiple NFC championship games. Now, 3 of the Eagles' biggest stars, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, and Jason Kelsey, all 3 members of the 2017 Super Bowl team, were all drafted by Reed. Here's what they had to say about their former coach.